Go ahead and do it. Turn it up.
You ready?
Go ahead and do it. Go ahead and do it. Yep, it was in reverse. So, your truck is alive. What do you think?
Pretty damn happy. Pretty damn happy.
2 thumbs up.
2 thumbs up.
All right, everybody, welcome back. Another work day here in the garage. I have the owner of the truck, Chris. Do you want to come say hi?
Hey everyone.
Now say hey, everyone.
Hey everyone.
There you go. Owner of the truck here. He came up for the weekend. We're going to see how much work we can get done. Fired up the truck last night. It runs. It doesn't have the cooling system yet. I didn't want to put it in until I got the intercooler setup completed. But truck runs. Sounds great. No exhaust yet. That'll be last. But next project we're about to work on is getting the rear differential installed, and then we'll start working on buttoning up a lot of the littler stuff and just kind of moving from there. So main goal for the weekend is this rear differential fully installed, and then the rest we'll just see what happens. So with that said, let's just get on to work. Quick update. Here is the Lightning rear differential installed. It went pretty quick and smooth. I have most of the e-brake stuff hooked up where it needs to go. A few miscellaneous things I'm gonna have to wait on some stuff to get, but we have that hooked up. Analog brake wire right here is all hooked up. A little bit later we're gonna tackle the staggered shock, which is gonna go right in this area. We're going to drill the frame out for the staggered shock bracket. But once we do that, then we can bolt up the other side shock and then put in the drive shaft, and then rear end will be done. All right, so what are the next things that will happen? Chris decided to do some fine motor work here, or fine skills work here inside the cab. He's putting the rest of the hush mat down on the bare sheet metal, so we have some nice sound deadening. He's honestly doing a much better job than the stuff I did. He's definitely more painstakingly detail oriented, so it looks fantastic.
That goes without saying.
Yeah. And then I got the analog brake sensors mounted into the spindles. We had to change the brake rotors out to ones that have the tone rings, so I'm getting ready to install those. I had to tap a hole here in the knuckle for the ABS sensors. So I got this mounted, plugged in. We now have all of our anti-lock brake sensors plugged in. I'm gonna get the brakes back together. The new front brake hose is on. I'm gonna put that on time lapse. And then once we do that, we can move into bleeding the brakes and making sure the brakes are all good where they need to be. And then once the brake system's done, we'll just move on to the next project. All right, brief update here. I've got the front brakes installed, new brake hoses installed up here. And so this stuff's all ready. We'll go over here to the driver's side. See, you got the new brake rotors, brake pads, brake hoses, everything's all up in there. We could have opted to go with the larger brake system that was used on the Lightning, but since we're not changing the wheels yet, I opted for the stock front brakes for now. And then it was much less money to invest right now since we're not going full on suspension and everything like that. That'll be part of the next phase of it for sure. But for now, we're just keeping things simple up front and just retaining what it has to save on cost, just to make this truck drivable and enjoyable for at least a step one, which is what they say if you're going to build a vehicle. Keep it simple to where you can get it running, driving, and enjoying, and then do the upgrades piece by piece. It's much more enjoyable that way. Update on Chris's work here. Look at how well all of this stuff is going. He's almost done laying this mat here on the inside. It's looking much better than I would do. So Chris, great job. 2 thumbs up for me. All right, so here is a quick update. If we look, the staggered shock on the passenger side is installed. Got this drilled out, mounted in, measurements showing it's pretty even to the driver's side. And so we'll just have to test operation to make sure there's no binding during normal driving and things like that. Also, if we look, the drive shaft here is installed with a new tail shaft seal up there in the transmission. I'm gonna have to get a bolt kit or something. One bolt was missing in the leftover bolts I had. That's one of the biggest frustrations, is a lot of missing hardware and other things when somebody else takes it apart. The organization was not great. So just dealing with sourcing what I need to source as far as that goes. Moving here to the inside, Chris did such an amazing job. We've got sound deadening inside the door panels. And if we look inside, I know it's a little bit cluttered because of all the stuff we took out for the doors, but the sound deadening is just absolutely awesome. The only thing that we didn't get done is the headliner, which isn't a big deal. We'll get that pulled down. But you know, I'll probably end up having to do it, but we'll get it pulled down, replace this headliner, get the sound deadening up there, and then start reassembling everything. But it is really, really coming together. All right, that's the end of a work day, an entire Saturday spent working on the Lightning project here. We've gotten a lot of stuff accomplished. The differentials in, all the brakes are hooked up, all the fluid is bled out of all of the brake systems. The drive shafts in, shock mounts in. We found a couple things that we're going to be needing as far as parts wise. We're going to need a taillight harness that does not jive with the current 2000 Lightning setup. The wiring is a bit different. And then I do have a lot of wiring I need to fix up front in the harnesses and things up here between the lights and the intercooler pump and things like that. So there's a lot of wiring that I'm going to have to do to make that stuff complete. But the main drivetrain is complete. Engine's basically done. You know, transmissions mounted, shifters hooked up, the transmission range sensors adjusted so that it works properly. You know, all the front to back, all the hard parts seem to be done. So now we just have cooling system, wiring. That's the two biggest things that we have done. And then once that's done, it's interior. And then that's going to be a wrap for the project. So we made tremendous steps here on the Lightning project. Just really great to see. It was really great to have Chris come up for the weekend and put his help in. He did a fantastic job being an assistant and then doing the sound deadening. He did better than I would have the patience for. So it was really great to see. But with that said, I'm just going to leave you with a little gift. Peace, like, follow, subscribe, and hit it, Chris!